The Rathdrum community is very small. Our school is very small as well. There's not a lot in the community for kids to do or to take part in if you're not involved in sports. Athletics is the only major activity we have in the area, so most kids end up just walking around with friends and wasting time.
Our project addresses societal disaster preparedness. We're trying to combat racism and diversity that's really prevalent in our community. We live in this rural environment that often puts on a mask of small town charm, but underneath this there are issues of racism, diversity, there are different forms of abuse, we have bullying, psychological issues, and that's where this youth center comes in.
Last year we went on a service trip to Portland where we did some research and helped out with the homeless population there. It's a significant problem, and while down there we visited this place called the Living Room, and what it was actually a church-based thing, but it was just a building with a bunch of couches and chairs, and there was also a bunch of games and stuff that they could play. We just we're walking back from that and thought to ourselves, this would be a great thing to have in Rathdrum because there's not a whole lot to do, and we just thought that'd be a great idea.
The nice thing about the Bridge Youth Center is it's also going to be an opportunity for our students to have significant service learning involved in it. It's a place for the staging of the youth voice. As an assistant principal at Lakeland High School, I see it as an opportunity for our students to be involved there within the community at large.
Growing up, if there was a community center, I probably would have stayed out of a lot more trouble than the trouble I've gotten into over the years. Guarantee that a lot of these kids growing up would have a lot better life if they had a community center and somewhere to go after school to stay out of trouble. And community center would just be great. If I had one growing up, I guarantee you I wouldn't be in the boat I'm in right now.
I had 3 teenage brothers that spent a lot of time at parties, and I never felt comfortable around those types of people, and I never wanted to be part of the bar scene, but I had no place to go. It would have been nice to have a place where I was accepted for myself, and as I look back, those are the things that I wish I could have had.
I think one of the things that service learning does is actually help students understand how to be an informed and engaged citizen of our society. For example, as recent as this last summer, there was a group of white supremacists that came into our community and threw pamphlets on the ground of yards in our community that promoted this hateful ideology. I know there's kind of a sense of what do we do with it? If we had this Bridge Youth Center, it's a place where youth can actively have their voice and say, we're not taking this. This isn't acceptable to have this type of ideology in our community.
We're coming down through downtown Rathdrum. This is where the magic happens. Got the saloons, of course, have what little actual touristy things we have. We have architects and bookstores right here, City Hall, a daycare, food banks, another bar. Next up here in the alternative high school. But after that, it's pretty much, you want much more than that, you have to go to Coeur d'Alene.
By connecting to Ponytails, which is a youth service organization in Spokane, which is headed up by Katara McClure, who's an African-American lady and also has a tremendous amount of resource and access to the African-American community, the Asian community in Spokane. I think we'll have an opportunity for the two communities to come together and really begin to understand each other's otherness and break down the boundaries that occur as a result of that misunderstanding.
So Bridge will link the adults and adolescents in our community.